This is On Stage Interviews. Today I'm here with the main director of Lost in Sound.
Tyler?
Tyler, people were wondering what media technologies were used within the film.
Within my film, there are two main technologies that were used within the film, and these two main technologies were used within any film that you watch and are very important.
What is the first type going in order of the two main technologies?
Well, the first main technology I emphasize within my film is the sound technologies. In my film, I used sound purely for content rather than voiceovers or dialogue for the film. Rather than using voices, I used sound effects and muffled audio to relay information using a more show-not-tell way of filming. The main way that I use these muffled audios is I used a primitive technique where I put a rag around the audio recording device, so all the sounds were slightly muffled.
Is that the only sound technology that you used?
Using the rag was not enough to make the audio fit into the film correctly, but it did help a lot. I used an audio editor after I recorded the audio on my phone and transferred the audio to the computer, and I used Audio Mass and Clipchamp to help edit by distorting and by changing the audio speed and volume so it seamlessly fit into the film.
How did changing the volume and the speed help it fit seamlessly into the film?
By changing the volume and the speed by either speeding up or slowing it down, and most of the time slowing it down, it allows the audio to have a similar tone and volume to the rest of the audio within the shot, such as the room ambience.
What diverse types of sounds are there?
Well, when filming, there are sound effects, there are diegetic sounds, and there are non-diegetic sounds. And I normally categorize each sound effect separately from these two, as sound effects work differently from them. Diegetic sound is like ambient, it's sounds that are within the shot. Non-diegetic sounds are sounds that are added to the shot afterwards, such as music playing over top or a voiceover. And sound effects are sounds that are added after the shot that are within the shot, so the audio feels more fluid.
How did you use these within the film?
When filming, I use diegetic sounds for ambience in the room, which is just what I recorded when I was filming. It's what best fit. For non-diegetic sounds, I used the sound effects such as the phone and the sitting down sound bridge, while the music was also a non-diegetic sound as it was playing over.
And what was the second type of the two main technologies?
The second main technology is visual technologies that I used within the film, in general, such as Clipchamp or like all the blurry effects that I have used, and the mise-en-scene in general. I used repetition and contrast lighting to add an anxious feeling to the film.
So how would repetition and contrast in lighting do that?
Through constant repetition of going back to the chair that you see back there, it makes the audience feel more uncomfortable and anxious. Through contrasting lighting, it creates a focal point which makes any viewers feel uncomfortable as they're focused on a single spot rather than the entire scene, and it makes them feel more cramped.
And how did you put this into the film?
I used warm lighting lamps on one side, and I used a cooler lighting from a flashlight to add contrasting lighting, and I just made the person go back and forth from the chair to add repetition.
And why was repetition so important in your film?
My goal for the film was to set up a way to always have the audience at the edge of their seat kind of feeling. And I accomplished this through the repetition by going back to the chair, paired with audio, with distressing music, and as well as the sound effects, the ambiance, the timing of everything. Everything was to keep you on the edge of the seats, even though it's supposed to be a cozy environment, which is just an ordinary home.
Sounds great. I can't wait to see it.